Good morning. Today is a beautiful day. Great to be alive. It is January 23rd, 2026. All the schools are closed. It's about 8 degrees and falling. My office is a total disaster. After I left yesterday, the Surf Pro guys came in and took everything out of there. There's stuff all over the place. File cabinets, files, random stuff. And so it's messy in there. Also, it's got about 10 blowers in there. It sounds like a wind tunnel and it smells like wet carpet. So I'm going to do most of my operations today, from in here. We did reschedule the stuff that we missed yesterday for Monday. It wasn't too bad. It could have been worse than it was. So we're back to work. I've been gone. Things are a little bumpy, but we're going to do our landlord tenant docket today. We got further hearing on the Colin Township versus Yoder zoning matters. I'd hope that thing would be over and done, but we're still struggling with it. As I said, I've got a full landlord tenant docket, and we're going to get started. We always got business to do. We were going to move. They wanted us to move in March, but it looks like we're scheduling our move in April. So all this stuff that got wet was going to have to be moved anyway. Our probation department is completely flooded. Their offices were decimated. The ceiling collapsed and all over their equipment. And some of them have already started to move. And the probation department is moving also. So I guess we're moving a little early. But life goes on. We have work to do and there's no sense to complain about it. We'll just get back to work. Today's first line is somebody at my age would know. It's a great song, maybe in my top 10. The love-struck Romeo sang the streets a serenade, laying everybody low with a love song that he made. Finds a street light, steps out of the shade, says something like, "You and me, babe, how about it?" A love-struck Romeo sang the streets a serenade. Great song, great lyrics. If you don't know it, look it up, listen to it. I bet you like it. All right, somebody's got it. I'm gonna get started. Thank you all for saying good morning and commiserating. With all the problems in the world, mine are pretty insignificant. Everybody should be this fortunate. I have to give great thanks to my office manager and assistant. They were in here yesterday dealing with the plumbers and the Surf Pro people and moving stuff and packing stuff up. And I want to thank Tab and Lapita for all that they did. All right, we're live and we're on the record. We've got 3 people in the waiting room. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
I hope it's warmer where you are than it is here, but it probably is about the same.
It is definitely not.
We're from Michigan. We're tough.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah.
Exactly. All right, just sort of taking a roll here. We've got Ashley, and Ashley, are you with TJ Pine Valley Place?
Yes,
All right, Mr. Sickle, you're here on that case as well?
I'm here on the 2 matters for Golden Pond Estates.
All right, those are also forthwith. Kelly Cantrell and Joan Gritzmacher, neither of which are here yet. The Watsons are here for the 920 case with Mr. Larkins. And so we'll let things settle here. In addition to all the other fun stuff going on, some pipes burst in the courthouse yesterday. Well, actually, over the night, Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and flooded part of the district court offices, including my office. My office has about 10 blowers in it. The carpet's all wet, and there's stuff stacked all over the place.
Oh,
So I'm gonna operate from in here. Laura, did you give me that petition on Stroop? Oh, maybe it was emailed. There it is. It was in there, but I will make it part of the paper one, part of the fund.
good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I think you may have seen that Attorney Larson and I were on the phone in anticipation. I know that you were
Well,
looking.
there's more going on here.
Yeah, I caught that just a second ago.
At about 8:30, the staff asked me if I would do a mental commitment hearing in absence of Judge Kane, who's about to go on a warm weather vacation. I thought he was already left. I said, well, who is it? I want to know. Well, it's Kevin Stroop. Pivotal, our local mental health agency for St. Joseph County, is filing a petition for a pickup order for Mr. Stroop.
They contacted me yesterday, Judge. So I am
You're aware of it?
I knew that was on their list of possibilities. I didn't know the status of it.
Well, for Miss Larson, I'm not gonna, as we all know, Mr. Stroop has been suffering from paranoid schizophrenia and has been an active client of Pivotal for several years. This case got a long, complicated history. We had a
Judge, should you call the case? Or?
Yes, I'll call a case. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's TJ Pine Valley Place versus Kevin Stroop. File number is 252656LT. Attorney Joan Larson is here on behalf of TJ Pine Valley Place. She's had a history with this file. It's very helpful to have the same lawyer in these complicated cases. And Meg Bauer is here from Legal Aid on behalf of Mr. Stroop. He has had a perpetual and long time bed bug problem at his apartment, and the complex has been trying to remediate it for several years. We had a consent order which didn't work, and the plaintiff attempted to enforce the consent order with a termination of tenancy. Defendant's counsel through Ms. Bauer objected. There were some technical issues regarding doing it as a violation of the consent order. So it was agreed the plaintiff would simply refile a termination of tenancy, which they have done. And this is the first hearing in that regard. As I mentioned, I was asked to do a mental pickup commitment hearing this morning as a cross-sworn probate judge. We're all sworn to cover for each other when we're gone. And I'm the judge that does the mental health pickup hearings when the probate judge is gone. I do, I don't know, several a year. And very often I already know the people because they're connected to district court cases, and that's the circumstance here. I won't go into the details, but Mr. Stroop is in very poor physical condition. He's not cooperating with mental treatment. His apartment is filthy. He's filthy, and I think he just wants to die. And
he is still receiving his mental health medication, as far as I understand.
all right. Well, at any rate, there's a hearing at 9:30 in the probate court. Judge Kane elected to do it himself before he leaves on his trip. So this is a just cause termination for the reasons I stated, a long-term problem with bed bugs in this apartment and other issues. My hope was at some point Pivotal or another agency would find alternate housing for this defendant, but he's very difficult. He's very difficult to place. I'll leave it at that. So this is a first hearing. Ms. Bauer's got a very good grasp of the circumstances, and so does Attorney Larson. So we need to set it for a second hearing. Ms. Bauer, do you have any further insight on this?
I know that Pivotal has worked on trying to find alternative housing, but there are a number of barriers, including some questions about the voucher. Ms. Larson did inform me this morning that he may have his voucher back, but that doesn't align with my understanding of how vouchers work. So I'm curious to get more information about that. At any rate, the defense would object to the allegations that they rise to just cause, and that that he has acted as they have alleged he has acted, just for purposes of covering an answer here. But we certainly don't know what's going to happen with him at 9:30 this morning, and
well, we
I've
need to
submitted
set a
written
second hearing.
answer.
And as I indicated, when we were in the context of non-compliance with the consent order, there were some very technical requirements that the defendant claimed needed to be met. Now it's just a general termination of tenancy for just cause going back several years, and the whole broad context of what was what. But I still expect this isn't going to go quietly.
Your Honor,
Yes, Ms. Larson?
I do want to let you guys know that there is a condemned sticker on his door. We did take over the property not that long ago, so I personally don't know a whole lot on behalf of Mr. Stroop, but there is a condemned sticker on his door. And Chief Hayden called yesterday and said he had went and told him that he was not supposed to be there, and he simply said okay and shut the door in his face.
Judge, first, that was not Ms. Larson. That was someone I'm not familiar with who that was.
All right, well, that's,
The
why don't
property
you, Ashley, why don't you go ahead and state, Ashley, why don't you state your name for the record?
Ashley Kasner,
And what's your position there?
property manager.
And Judge, my understanding is that this property was sold in December. I was on the phone with Mr. Stroop when Fire Chief Mike Hayden knocked on the door. He was operating in fire chief capacity. So I was actually there.
Well,
for the
he's not just the
interaction.
fire chief, he's also the zoning enforcement officer.
That's
He's a
why I
fire
said
chief
in
at
that capacity.
And Constantine, he's the building inspector. Oh, this is Constantine. So I'm not sure what his capacity was.
I spoke with him, Judge. I spoke with him while he was there speaking with Mr. Stroop, and I spoke with him after the conversation with Mr. Stroop. But I can represent as an officer of the court that he absolutely did not slam the door in Officer Hayden's face, because the three of us had a conversation together yesterday.
I don't think she said
Officer
slam.
Hayden was there because Pivotal called 911 to attempt to get him to leave with EMS. He declined medical service. And in fact, Officer Hayden expressed to me that he made very clear to Mr. Stroop that he was there in his capacity as fire chief and that he was not
Your
trying
Honor,
to
I have to
remove
object
Mr.
at this
Stroop.
point to Ms. Bauer putting in conversations that I was not a party to.
Yes, we're getting all over the place.
Well,
We're gonna have a second hearing on this place. At some point, he's gonna have to get out of there. The properties, we now learn, has been condemned. And so I don't know what the status is. I don't expect this is gonna be straightforward or simple. But because, they're trying to find a place to put him.
But Judge, I have to advocate for the representations made about him, and so none of this.
Well, that came out of the blue as in defense of you, Ashley, although it was helpful information to learn that the property's been condemned. And I was unaware of it, and I'll see what further information we can get. All right, I have a wide open next Friday afternoon, but my fear is that's too soon to put this.
In light of the fact that we don't know what's going to happen at 9:30, and there's a lot of voucher questions, I would agree that might be a little soon.
The
I
only thing I
understand the
will say,
plaintiff
Your
has
Honor,
an objective, though.
well, it's not an objective.
All right,
The only
Ms.
thing I will say,
Larson,
Your
what's
Honor,
your position?
I am leaving my office effective next Friday and going to work for the court. The Ingham County Friend of the
You're
Court.
going to work where?
Ingham County Friend of the Court.
Oh, okay, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I will be leaving private practice. My last day is actually next Friday. If there's any way that hearing could be done via Zoom, I think that, I mean, this case has lingered for a very long time, Your Honor.
I apologize, but we are gonna be able to do this next Friday on your last day. Some poor other associate's gonna inherit this, but I'm gonna set it for 1 o'clock, 1:15. For February 13th. By Zoom. We don't know what his medical status is. We don't know what his pickup status is. We don't know what the condemned status is.
Your Honor,
Yes.
would that be scheduled as a second pretrial, or is that going to be the actual trial date?
Well, let's call it a second pretrial. I'm not sure we'll be ready to take testimony. I've got the whole afternoon. Well, the problem is this keeps going and going and going and this condemned. So let's set it as a trial regarding termination of tenancy.
That would then be in person, Judge.
Generally, in person is what I do for testimonial trials.
And that
Every
is-
time Mr. Stroop comes, we have to spray for bed bugs after he leaves. His health, I'm guessing he'll be able to be here. Now, you also mentioned there's new ownership of Pine Valley Place,
Yes, Your Honor.
but the new owners, I think, want the same owners were.
Yes. And I know, Your Honor, if we have to get into witnesses as far as the exterminator, she is not local. She's like 2 or 3 hours away, and so are all of her crew.
I'm going to allow this one to be by Zoom for all concerned.
For purposes of the record, the defense objects to remote testimony.
All right. And you can preserve that objection. Things may change in that amount of time as things develop with the mental health case and his medical conditions and the condemnation. Their case in chief may be the fire chief came, inspected the property and condemned it. We wish to terminate his tenancy because the fire chief has condemned the property. That takes out bed bugs, a whole bunch of other stuff. but, we'll see where we are. Certainly, I'm willing, I know you guys have been talking about this case. Ms. Larson, best of luck to you. You've always done a fine job representing your clients here. This has been a particularly difficult one.
Thank you
But
very
we'll
much.
continue it to February 13th at 1:15, and whoever your successor is. And let's see what happens today with the mental health case, what happens with his physical health. And before you leave, maybe we'll have more knowledge on how to proceed. But we'll have it scheduled for that date. All right, thank you both.
Thank you, Your Honor.